everyone, I am here today to review Clean by Juno Dawson, and I received this book from the publisher via NetGalley and I gave it 5 stars. If you've seen one of my most recent videos, which was my favourite reads of the year so far, you will see that I adored this book. So this is the video where I'm going to give you more of my in-depth thoughts and explain to you just why I loved it so much. So I just want to quickly give you a warning that this book may contain many triggering scenes for many people. It deals with various different levels of addiction, not just drug addiction, but like drink addiction, other addictions that you probably wouldn't even thought of that would be covered in this book are in this book. Like, it covers a vast more variety, so you really kind of need to do your research if you think that this book may be difficult for you. So this is a YA novel, and it's about a teenage girl named Lexi, and Lexi has got herself into quite some trouble and has become quite the junkie. She's addicted to heroin. She hangs around with a really rough crowd and they're all doing heroin and they're all just kind of not giving a slight kind of thought to what it is that they actually really are doing, how addicted they are. They don't realise they've got problems, they're just having fun. But because Lexi comes from quite like a rich background, her brother kind of realises just how much trouble she's in, and he checks her into this kind of rehab centre. It's not a typical rehab centre. It's like a really kind of expensive, exclusive place where they deal with all sorts of addictions. So he checks her into there, which she is not grateful for at all. From here you get scenes of her sort of getting through the process of coming off heroin, which is an absolutely disgusting experience, and I feel like Juno Dawson does an excellent job of describing this really well. I wouldn't know. I've not gone through heroin withdrawal myself, but I'm judging this on also my reading of A Street Cat Named Bob by James Bowen, who also goes through the same process, and I feel like everything really sort of matches up with that. So from what I do know already, it kind of, yeah, it all makes sense. It doesn't seem like it's underdone. It doesn't seem like it's overdone. It's probably pretty accurate. I mean, obviously everyone's going to have a very different experience coming off heroin anyway, but it's not pleasant reading at all. You also see Lexi and her desperate attempts to try and get any sort of fix when she's first in the rehab centre, and also how her personality has been affected by heroin, and the person that she is at the beginning of the book is a totally different person to who she really actually is, and that heroin is just kind of taking her over almost, like giving her this new persona. I mean, this isn't to say that Lexi probably wouldn't have been a spoiled brat anyway, even without the heroin, because she probably would. She seems to have really come from one of those sorts of backgrounds where you don't need love, you just need money. Here's lots of money, do what you want. You're not getting any attention though, and so it's kind of understandable how she ends up in the situation that she ends up in. But I really loved seeing her character development throughout the novel. It was definitely one of the things that I enjoyed most about the book, and indeed other characters as well. You don't just follow Lexi's progress alone once she's in there. You start meeting other people and you start learning about their process and what they are doing to try and get over their specific addictions, for example, gambling addictions, and it's just fantastic. The representation in this book as well is equally fantastic. I mean, you have got like really kind of all the extremes. So there is one lady who is just like addicted to eating. She understands she's got issues and she wants to get over it, but she just can't stop eating. You've got the other end of the scale where you've got a bulimic. You've obviously got the gambling addictions, you've got like sex addictions, but also beyond that you've got different kind of racial backgrounds, and it's all just a wonderful mishmash of diversity in a really comfortable way. It doesn't feel forced. It doesn't feel like Juno Dawson went, right, so I need a black person for this book, so what shall I make them? Like, it seems to just feel really natural. They feel like people you would meet in the street. Obviously you don't go around meeting heroin junkies left, right and centre depending on what street you are, but you get what I mean. They feel like really just real people that you could meet. I also just really enjoyed seeing the characters actually help each other in this book, and that was just really wonderful to see. And I also just really enjoyed the actual setting. So the rehab centre itself, it's kind of interesting because they're encouraged, once they're past a certain point in their recovery, to kind of do different activities. And I really enjoyed kind of seeing these activities happen. And it just kind of broke up from, it didn't get monotonous, the subject of like recovery and everything, but at the same time it stopped it ever becoming monotonous by having these other extra things in. And it introduces you to even more characters still. And I just absolutely adored this book. This is the second book I've ever read by Juno Dawson, and now I just really want to just go out and read all of the rest, because I can't stop praising this book. If you haven't picked it up, if you want to pick it up, if you're tempted to pick it up, if you think that it won't cause you any triggers, then rush out and get it, because it's absolutely fabulous. I don't think I've seen anyone dislike this book at all. It just seems to be across the board like, oh my, this is an amazing read. And the fact that it's in the YA genre with it, so it's helping open the eyes of younger people too, to not even go down the drugs route in the first place, because as you see in this book, it's not big, it's not clever. And if you get to the point where you are going to go through rehab and actually get yourself taken off of these drugs, it's just not a pleasant experience at all to actually get your body adjusted to like getting off heroin. You have to take like morphine and stuff and slowly lower the dose, and it's just absolutely horrible and disgusting, the process you have to go through. So I feel like this book could really help people not even get into that situation in the first place. So let me know if you have read this and if you also enjoyed it, whether you've got any different thoughts to me. Maybe you've read it and you didn't like it. I would love to hear about that in the comments, just so I can kind of get a different perspective of this book. Well, thank you so much for watching this review. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe by clicking the image of me if you want to see more book reviews and other bookish content from me, and I will see you soon. Bye bye.